I was born August 19th, 1937. My father's name was Judah Bruno Solby. First he was chief of NYU. Then he got a promotion from head of the hospital. He became head of mental services for the Army during the Second World War. So we moved to Virginia. My mother's name was Trudy Kingstone. Every Sunday I used to get a quarter, and I used to go to the movies for 10 cents and use the rest for candy or whatever. One Sunday my neighbor came and said, "Mike, got a great idea." So we didn't go to the movies. He had a boat, went out into the ocean, and then it started getting dark and the tide was taking us out, and he couldn't quite control it. Well, 5 o'clock came and you don't show up. Your parents are a little annoyed. They're scared shitless. He called the Coast Guard. They sent a plane out. They found us, brought us back. One of the most memorable times I had was my father was also the personal physician of FDR. And he had Eleanor and Rosa and Franklin over for dinner one night. And Franklin, being the most gracious person you would ever want to meet, brought me a fishing pole. And after dinner, I went out and I used it. But he had his straw hat, and I used it as a target. And his hat was absolutely a mess. And my father, I never forget the look on my father's face. He could have killed me. And Franklin looked at him and said, "No, he's just enjoying it." He picked up his hat and he said, "That was a good cast, Michael." And he put his hat on and left with his security team, went back to the White House. I really killed that hat. Did I have fun? Yes. Oh, it was great. The weirdest thing happened after we moved to Alexandria. My mother said, "You know, your father has to go with the president to Europe because there's a big meeting." So we moved back to New York, and it was 6 months before I found out he had died. She hadn't told me. He had had a heart attack. I just took drama because I liked it. It was fun. I liked the head of the department. Greg Falls basically mentored me. And I was in 12th night, and I played Festi, and I had a great time. And actually, that's where I met Mom, because she was head of costumes or something along that line. It wasn't a huge part. It wasn't but I was the voice of 12th night, really. As the fool, I moved the play forward. But the voice of Festi had a sound, and I loved the sound. And I remember I got a note from Betty Bandel, who was chair of the English department, saying, "You know, I've seen 12th Night in England, in France, in the United States, and here. Your version of Festi is the best I've ever seen." Hello. I loved it.